First story of the year, clap it. Hashtag, we're not a political channel. Our journey into non-abyss. How you guys doing? Happy New Year. My name is Hiro. This is Coding with Strangers. Welcome to 2025. The cutoff day for saying Happy New Year to people is the 15th. 2 solid weeks. Anybody that you meet afterwards, don't encourage them. If they say it to you, just be like, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Don't let this go to is it 31 days in January? Don't let it hit February and you still saying, Happy New Year. Don't do it. Stand for something or fall for anything. Speaking of things that aren't going to be falling in the near future, the price on technologies, hey yo. Where's my little drum? Type 15 here. Let me give it to you guys. Consumer tech spending will break records in 2025 if Trump's tariffs don't squash it, CTA predicts. As a person who is going to need to build a brand new computer by the 15th before the 31st of February, this is something I'm innately aware of. The price of technology is constantly skyrocketing because of so many things that go into it. Whether it's at one point we couldn't get CPUs/GPUs because of the Bitcoin mining, or the NFT craze. Cloud storage is becoming the thing, and now it's AI, right? So there are so many things that make chip availability so difficult. And we have to remember something about this one resource in particular, whether it's silicon, cobalt, whatever it is a finite resource. We are eventually going to run out of it. And when we do, wherever we are in the as far as technology is concerned, we will be rendered mute as far as development is concerned if we haven't found a way to circumvent our heavy reliance on natural resources in order to create computing power. Now, that's just not the main concern of it. There are a plethora of things to be concerned, whether it's human rights violations in the Congos, whether it's dare I say, slave labor in the shops that are used to produce these, how these huge corporations and companies are using migrant workers to do their bidding for a cheaper cost. On a global scale, collectively, the technology used to make our phones bing and ding really shouldn't add up or take to the measure of the value of human work spirit and livelihood. All of these things are extenuating factors, but a factor that will probably make consumers chagrin, unfortunately, by comparison, is the fact that the prices of these things might be going up, even though the way that they are being acquired, its standard of quality is not going up. And hear me out for this. As unhumane as some of the processes are, I would be way more welcome to increasing the prices of my product if it meant that the people who were being forced, for lack of a better term, to get this technology or to get these resources were being paid a living wage. We're being paid fairly. I couldn't possibly chagrin. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be for a negative reason. But that's not even the case. And it might be a situation where it might be self-inflicted, right? With Trump's tariffs. Now, for everybody who's an adult in this conversation, we're not a political channel, but it's just apparently clear, and I haven't seen any economic data to suggest otherwise, and I'm not saying that I'm even an economic specialist, and that's not my forte, but hey, I've read enough journals to basically be able to infer on this topic that the economic plan as far as global trade is concerned has put us as Americans in a negative light in the rest of the world. And it has a lot of other countries who don't favor towards us, or who haven't felt favor from Trump rather, to kind of put holes, because his way of implementing punishment to said countries is going to be done with economic tantrums instead of diplomatic conversations. So let's learn about how some of these technology points might be affected. American consumers will spend a record-breaking $537 billion on new app devices and gadgets in 2025, according to the new one-year forecast from Consumer Technology Association (CTA). On stage Monday that the group enormous CES 2025 in Las Vegas, Trump's proposed tariff plan, which would raise the cost for U.S. consumers, could squash a lot of that spending. The CTA is projecting that there will be record retail revenue for the U.S. consumer technology industry in 2025, 3.25% growth over 2024. However, the Comiskey warned that those projections could be changed because smartphones and laptops are threatened by the President Trump-elect's tariff proposal. Tariffs on technology produced products could lead to $90 to $140 billion with a B decline in U.S. purchasing power, he said. There's a part of me that also wants to challenge this a little bit because and there might be for his released report, so we can probably look at the numbers. Let's see if we can get a look at that. I'm a little skeptical. I'm even more skeptical if I gotta pay in order to look at it. Okay, here we go. Urban consumers. Man, and it's kind of strange because 2021 during the height of COVID, the index was super high. Year-over-year inflation rate, Federal Reserve target rate, relatively low, but inflation went through the roof for urban consumers. Sheesh. 21, 27 universal tariffs, 20% tariffs on Chinese products, 100% universal tariffs, 10%, 60% tariffs on. Okay, so he's basing this off of streamlined data of potential decline. So there's no way he could figure it out, but I guess there is a way because in the blue scenario we had a 10% when the universal. And then this year, what Trump is saying, 20% universal, 100% on Chinese. So if we can use the data from 2018, then we can. So maybe there is some. Not even maybe. There definitely is validity to what he's saying. My goodness. Total industry retail about billions. Hardware, software, services. Sheesh. Okay, so there's some strength to this, and the thing about it is it's kind of a great thing because we don't have to assume, we don't have to pretend. He's already been in office before. We know what could and should possibly happen, especially if there's nothing to rein him in. In October, the CTA released a report that looked at two tariff proposals, specifically the 10% and 20%. That's the one we just looked at. Oh, I know I got a good eye for data. I'm a data guy. That's my new job. I'm a data guy. On all imports from all countries and 60% tariffs on all imports from China. It concluded that these proposals could increase the prices of laptops and tablets by 46%, video game consoles by 40%. Who's buying a video game console in 2025? Only beta. And smartphones by 26%. I will be buying a new smartphone this year, probably before I go to China. Not China, sorry, Japan. Oops. So I might play victim to this. On stage, Comiskey offered additional color explaining that spending on tablets and laptops could decline as much as 68%, gaming consoles and as much as 58%, smartphones as 37%. Without such tariffs, the consumer tech industry is heading towards a spending supercycle, as Comiskey called it. This is partly because only the newest PC tablets and smartphones can access new AI-powered features. So AI is definitely being used as a push for a selling point. I dare argue the selling point is not very appealing. There's nothing aesthetically appealing about the new laptop and tablets having access to things such as AI as we now know it, because a lot of those technologies they've been bolstering with AI is not very impressive. I don't believe tripling the allure will definitely start to fall. The veil is coming off of the practicalities of AI. It has its space, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be a thing. I said this to someone the other day. When I said I wanted to buy a new laptop, and I said I wanted to buy one from 2022, and they're like, "Why don't you get the new one?" And I was like, "Because I don't want the AI to be tied to it." When I get my new iPhone, I want to get the iPhone 14. I think I'm at the 12 right now, so I was like, I'm gonna just go to the 14 because that's the last time you can get the phone before you get all this AI innovation. And for me, I just don't. The AI does not sound aesthetically pleasing to me. It's not a seller. Without such tests, consumers tech industry heading towards a speed super cycle. AI-powered features such as Apple Intelligence, Microsoft Copilot Plus PC, and CTA research indicates that consumers want the features. Bullshit. Most consumers say, the common consumer probably sees AI as its current aforementioned aspects as revolutionary. Oh, what? I have Google and I literally can now Google something from something else and it speaks nicely to me. Great. Meanwhile, AI is also juicing up so many classic consumer tech categories, from fitness trackers to smart TVs, like newly announced products from Google. Is this an ad? Whether the AI, these products truly make a gadget worthwhile may not matter, because the final thing to point is in 2025 being a big year for gadgets and the rise of Gen Z purchasing power. Oh, that's such a great point. The generation that was raised on tablets, are now getting to the age where they will have actual financial buying power. Oh, that's such a great point. The generation raised on these products will now have a buying capacity. In 2025, it's predicted that 27% of the global workforce is expected to be Generation Z. Udemy predicts that the generation that most loves the new technology and enjoys being early adopters. Yeah, Generation Z would. Oh man, that's a fascinating aspect. This is a great article. Clap it. But in the grand scheme of things, the problem isn't so much that the tariffs are definitely going to be an issue, but the thing that I think is more telling is what is the scarcity of this going to be? It's the scarcity of these products that are also going to be a significant issue, because if retailers and factory owners cannot produce the quantity they want to or the quality that they want to because of trying to cut corners to make this as inexpensive as possible, in an effort to do that, they might end up losing the ability to reach. There's a lot of the 5090 GPU is really big on my list, even though it's probably super overpowered for what I need. But for what I want to do in the future, it's an absolute must-have for me. CPU chips that I have to wait on, I literally have to call friends who live in different parts of the country to go get those things for me so that I can have access to them, because they're so scarce here. And heaven knows that I'm not going to be sitting in nobody's line outside waiting for a GPU chip. What do I look like to you? I'm loved. Not putting myself through that. But at the end of the day, it's a fascinating concept. And we just hope that, because if the illusion is, this is what's going to end up happening. If the illusion is that prices are going to go up because of the perceived notion of tariffs, and those tariffs don't actually move the needle because of retaliatory tariffs, they go head for head or whatever, these companies will still use the illusion of tariffs coming to be like, hey, this is not our fault the prices went up. that's because of Trump's tariffs, or that's because of the inflation in China. So like, it gives these companies another out to be, one, extremely greedy, and two, for us to point and say it's China's fault and it's not our fault. We're increasing the prices of our products for American freedom, as they will put it. And that's why you gotta pay $1,000 for the PlayStation 6. Oh, by the way, PlayStation 6, you can only play GTA 6 on PlayStation 6. It's gonna happen, it's coming, and we will storm the Capitol on that day. Storm the Capitol. But for everything else in between time and the meantime, my name's Hero. Please like, share, and subscribe. First day back, don't let a black man fail in 2025.